Our before images of the V-strom. Notice stock tyres, lack of crash bars, standard plastic, I don't know, engine cover. It's nowhere near a bash plate, that's for sure. And stock exhaust. Hopefully those things shall change over the coming days. Makeover, V-strom style. Alright, so we've got some new tyres on the V-strom, some Mitas E07s. Bit of 50-50 action this one now. So yeah, these tyres, hopefully they'll be good. Take me on some little adventures. Some gravel roads and farm roads and stuff. While still being good on the road is the plan. Oh yep. Yep, survived the first corner. First of a couple of upgrades for this big girl. So stay tuned, we've got a couple more things coming your way. We've got crash bars, we've got skid plates, and we have an exhaust on order. So these tyres fitted, and I also had them remove the centre stand because I think I'm going to need it gone to install the Delkevic exhaust. Not bad, it was $518.95. So there we go, the Mitas E07, and on the front not a whole lot of tread. I thought they might have got more, but I suppose they've got to be good on the road as well. So here we go, we've got all the new gear to complete the makeover for the V-strom now. Just got to unwrap it, put it on. So with the power of camera, and here we go. So we've got a Suzuki, which I'm pretty sure is just a jivvy Bashplate. So that'll give some under protection. We have some Suzuki, which again I believe are jivvy crash bars, and that'll give a bit more protection, but also somewhere to mount the Insta 360 off. It's about the content too. And lastly, we have quite a cheap exhaust system. It's a 3/4 exhaust, and it's a Delkevic. So yeah, it was way cheaper than any competitor's exhaust. I was quoted over about $1,700–1,800 for an Arrow exhaust, which I'm sure is really good. The exhaust here, $421 delivered. Crash bars, $425, came to the local store in a couple of days, and same for the Bashplate, talking about $425 as well. So all up, all of these accessories and the tyres for pretty much my tax return this year. Let's have a look at the old exhaust to start with. So there we go. So all that's going to come off, eh? That plastic cover and the exhaust, goodbye. On goes crash bars, Bashplate, and new exhaust. Hopefully we can get the tools in there to get the job done. The other side of it is, see if I can focus it in there. Might have to get in from this side as well maybe when I put the new one on. So in behind there you can see there's a nut where the exhaust flange joins onto the exhaust. And I should be able to get that one out, I think. I think I should be able to join a few extensions together and grab that one. And one of the main reasons why I might have an issue is currently infected with COVID, and I'm still in isolation for a number of days, so I can't go anywhere to get the tools. So this one here, as far as I can see, it's just 2 Allen keys on each side, and yeah, we'll see how far we get. One plasticky, rubbery, you know, cover. So now I guess the next thing will be is to take off the exhaust. I've got a feeling we're leaving this piece on, the piece that connects into the header, and then we'll be joining on from that flange, and then underneath into this barrel as well. There's a piece comes out, I'll be joining up onto that. So now it's just going to be a matter of getting all this off, and I'm going to start where the pipes meet up first, and then this will be the last bit. Got a few pieces to undo there. Okay, so it turns out I have 1 millimetre to spare. I was just able to get enough grip with this, with joining a couple of small extensions together. Size 12 nut, and I'm just getting it. Literally, I'm scraping the edge of the frame to get enough grip on it. There we go. 1 bolt. Look, I know not everybody's going to have this piece because you're not all going to have panniers. I'm just going to do this step because I know it's going to have to come eventually anyway, and probably doesn't make any difference to the order that it gets done. We've got this oxygen sensor as well that we're going to have to remove, and I guess this plate to get to the oxygen sensor. Is that another one? Oh, there we go. From what I understand, you need to unclip this. So you follow the wire up. O2 sensor is this plug just here. It was just sitting in right there. Just here it was. Because the idea is now that you let it spin around from the top rather than spinning around from the bottom. So the O2 sensor down here is a size 17, and you will need to, what I did was I trimmed off the zip tie here, and you do need to trim off one off the guard as well, which stops it from spinning around up here, and then you can just undo it and put it to the side. So now that's disconnected, and we'll move on to the next thing. So just trying to think what's left. So we've done this one, we've done the one in there. There's one down here, there's a holding bracket down here, which I'm guessing is another size 12. 12 seems pretty good. A bit easier from behind than in front. Now we're loose. Just had to break the one at the back. So what I've done is reduce the tension on the header bolts, and which has given me a fair bit more play there. And now I'm going to see if I can wiggle it off from here. I feel it coming. There we go. There we go. That's one exhaust off. So now we have a header pipe down in there, and we've got nothing up here. And now we're putting on the see if the muffler will line up. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Seems to be sitting a lot more snug now, which is good. I'll just do this bit then first. Alright, so we have a Delkevic exhaust starting down there, building away along into the silencer. Pretty cool. We had a few little joins we had to do in there. We had a down pipe from the head up down to another pipe which joined on there. That bolt there, it threaded. Pain in the ass, that one, I tell ya. So we've had to do a makeshift. Had to put a bolt through the other one. No, I don't think it's a big deal, but she's sweet. All right, let's start her up. All right, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, boom. Righto, so now we're on to installing the crash bars, which will fit in here, and I think that might be as far as we get today. The skid plate, we've got issues now that we've got the Delkevic exhaust. It's not going to fit, so I've either got to refabricate the rear bracket or sell it and then buy a different skid plate. So I'll decide on that, I guess, later through the day. We'll get these on now. All right, we'll just follow the instructions. Instructions come clear as mud. Not too bad, not too bad. I just need to go get a few tools. Some of the tools we require are a 17mm socket, wrench and extension, or socket, bar and extension, 17mm spanner set, 6mm Allen keys, some thread lock, 14mm spanner, and a torque wrench. What size are you? You look bigger than a 6. Yeah, pig's ass. This one, which is an Imperial. Oh God. Gotcha. Might need a breaker bar for this one. She's tight. Isn't coming out in a hurry, that's for sure. So one of the things I've found out is this bolt here goes all the way through, and you've got to replace it with this one. Now the reason this bolt's so damn big is because it goes through the frame brace on the left side, through the top of the motor housing, and then out to this side. So I'd say this bolt's pretty important at keeping the engine up. My concern is when I take it out, it's going to be, you know, tricky to take it out because the weight of the motor might shift, but also then putting it back in might be tricky as well. Because I don't know if the motor's going to move or not. I'm really not mechanically inclined here. I mean, all I thought I was doing was putting a couple of bolts on, boom, 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 15-minute job, no worries. Now, it might be that easy. Maybe this is a piece of piss. Push that round and shit. Yeah. Alright, well, turns out I was able to do it, and this is the bolt that's coming out, and when you compare it, it's a good, it's about 6-7 centimeters shorter, longer. Big five, number 5, the stockier spacer, 3 washers, crash bars, and then boom. And then slide it through. Yep. Righto, so what we can see here are some Suzuki crash bars on the V-strom. Let's take it out a little bit, give it a bit more of a look. So that gives a bit more protection. One of the things I'm a bit more keen on it, besides the protection, which will be great if it does drop, is now I can hang the Insta 360 off it and get some more cool angles. So yeah, now we've got the crash bars, we've got the Delkevic exhaust, and the final phase to the makeover was supposed to be the Bashplate. As I was just explaining on the GoPro, we have the new Bashplate just sitting here, ready to go. And I found out I'm going to need to refab this bracket to make it 15mm longer. I did find some scrap steel, which is pretty much the same thickness, which I do have, and I do have a welder, so that part doesn't stress me so much. Can cut it up and put in a couple of pieces. What stresses me the most is the way they want it mounted. So the skid plate, it links onto the crash bars there, and then this plate here joins on, pretty sure, to these 2 bolts there, and then this bolt up here, which again runs through the case. Now, as you can see, it's already hitting the exhaust here, so I have been told if you had an extra 15mm to both sides, like cut it there and there, then it should fit on. My second problem is they want to use the stand bolts, so these 2 bolts up here. How's my bike going to stand when I undo those? That's a bit of a problem. So the V-strom's now back together with its plastic cover back on, and crash bars, exhaust. It's had a little mini makeover, I guess. Got a couple of new accessories. The Bashplate was meant to top it off, but doesn't look like it's happening now for a little while. Still pretty happy with what I've done here in isolation. Alright, welcome back guys. So now we're on the road doing a quick test of the new exhaust and crash bars. Now when I say testing crash bars, I'm hoping I don't really test out the crashing part, but rather you'll see there's a 360 camera hanging off the front there. So I'm testing out some new angles, I guess. Exhaust sounds very, very cool. Thank you. We're not pulling right out. And the other thing I'm testing is the new tyres, the Mitas tyres. So I'm just going to do the standard test loop where you get up to 100 for a little bit. That'll give me a good chance to see any vibrations and noises and things. But over the exhaust and the intercoms, I doubt I'll hear anything. How nice is that exhaust? It is sounding sensational. And there is another thing I'm testing. I've had so many issues with my audio playing up using a Rode mic, but it's been one of those mics where you need an adapter, a TRS adapter. So now I'm trying the Rode Lav Mic Go, which doesn't need an adapter. I'm hoping that makes a difference. It is nice to get out though. I've been in isolation. Tested positive to COVID for my first time last week. And luckily I only got a mild dose. Nothing too bad, just a few days really. Yeah, that's nuts in there. They're going. Can't speed 40 k's. Yeah, so feel good. I've been, luckily for me, I guess in a way, some parts for the V-strom here turned up, and I was able to, I felt fine to put them on and muck around with that. The hardest part was I wasn't really able. This is the first chance I've had to get the bike out and see what the exhaust sounds like. So it's been sitting in the shed for days. And it feels great to be on the bike. Oh, sensational. Now, there's a little bit of vibration through those tyres, but it's not bad, that's for sure. Exhaust isn't too loud at that speed or anything either. So far so good. Oh, listen to it. No dramas, eh? Wow, what a beast. Coming to the end of the ride now, so we might say our goodbyes. Just watch all these nutters everywhere. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Coming to the end of the ride now. If you enjoyed the V-strom makeover, new tyres, new exhaust, new crash bars, and the new mic. If you enjoyed all that, feel free to comment, like, share, and sub if you haven't. Alright, hey guys, see you on the next one, eh? Cheers, hooroo.